How do you get the penis in the sink? I'm not. Maybe since you're tall.
That's what you should be doing.
Maybe since you're tall.
Oh my god!
Welcome to Behind the Sins, presented by CinemaSins.
Welcome to Behind the Sins, a weekly look at everything going on inside the world of CinemaSins. I'm Aaron Dicer, and this week I'm joined by fellow Bafflegabbers, Jonathan Watkins.
Hello, hello.
Ian Whittington.
Yay, I'm second.
And Deneé Hughes.
Still not fired.
We write for CinemaSins and TV Sins and do various other things inside the CinemaSins universe as well. And welcome to BTS 2.0, Season 2.
Boom. Judgment Pod.
Judgment Pod?
Yeah.
Okay. At least BTS 2 Electric Boogaloo,
Yeah.
maybe? Something like that. Yeah, Deneé is back as a full-time cast member on Season 2. And so, are we cast members?
Yeah,
Oh, you just said
I
it,
think
so I
we
guess we
are
are.
now.
I guess we are.
Who's playing me?
It was a long process to rehire her.
Yes.
We had
Yeah,
many talks.
Who
Yeah, I
should we
had to
cast in the role of
renegotiate.
Deneé?
Yeah. The first one didn't work out.
I like how Deneé. I'm assuming. Did you hear last week where Aaron was trying to make it seem like it was secret who was coming back, even though he said former BTS person, and there's
You'll
only
never
one.
guess what former host of BTS is coming back to the show.
Oh no! Did anyone guess? I'm kidding.
No, nobody got
Not a
it.
single
Nobody got
person.
it. Nobody got it.
A bunch
Yeah,
of
I'm
people-
excited for season 2. We all got together. We chatted about what we loved about the show and ideas for what we could do in season 2. Thank you guys so much for filling out the poll. Your feedback directly influenced decisions that we made
Absolutely.
Yeah, it
for
did.
season 2. And we love to hear what you guys have to say. We had, I think, 3 times as many people fill out the poll this year as did the first time. And it was really awesome to read your guys' comments and feedback and to know that you enjoy what we're doing. So please continue to share it with your friends because we're having a good time. And I'm really excited to come back to the table and try out some new segments.
So that means at least 3 people filled out
Yes.
the survey. That's all.
That's right. Last time it was 1. And this time I think it was 5. So it's awesome.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Amazing.
5 times. Why are you underselling it?
Well, you know.
So basically 2/3 of the Sins crew.
That's right.
Two-
That's right. It was just
two-thirds.
us. So I will give you a few heads up ahead of time about some of the changes you're going to hear, just so you know. Number one, the core of the show stays the same. We are here to talk about the CinemaSins videos, the TV Sins videos, the videos we put out on the channel. So that will stay the same. The Keeping Tag segment is getting incorporated into the SinSide Scoop. In other words, if we have fun stories about writing, those kind of things, we'll just go ahead and say them while we're talking about the videos.
And it's also now called Keeping Tags, apparently.
Yes, with a G.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it is. We got rid of it and some reason changed the title
Yeah.
after
That's
we
right.
got rid of it. So those fun stories will still be here, but there'll be a more natural process of discussing the videos together. So that is one thing. We will still have a comment section, but we are breaking out Nitpicking the Nitpickers of the Nitpickers to its own segment.
Section.
I'm finally getting spin-off.
Well, we didn't tell you. We cast somebody else in your
Oh,
role
did you?
for that.
It's actually JCD. So
Gosh dang it, that man.
So Nitpicking the Nitpickers of the Nitpickers will be its own segment. And then what we're going to do is we are going to test out a rotating group of new segments for the final segment of the show. So we've got a lot of fun ideas of stuff we're going to do. Beyond the Sins is gone, and I will tell you the reason for that is both that in the survey, it was something that a lot of the people marked as kind of lower on their list, but also because we have plenty of other places that all of us talk about the stuff that we're watching. So, and in fact, there will probably still be some of that in the outtakes, honestly. Like, you know,
'Cause we
when we
can't
get
help
together,
ourselves
we
talking
can't help
about it.
ourselves. We
Yeah,
will.
I mean, Deneé just talks about movies constantly.
I do. I never shut up about movies. And so, you know, I was like, guys, it has to be somewhere. And they finally let me have it in the outtake. So, you know,
Yeah.
you can't win them all.
So the segment we're testing out today is called Sin to Win and will be a game segment that Deneé will lead. We'll do a.
Am I
game.
leading that?
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, Deneé. Yeah, you are.
I'm kidding. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
Right.
I see. We're
Yeah,
back
I will
to
have
this.
questions when we get to that part, and it'll
Sure.
be great. It'll be great.
It'll be great.
Good.
It'll just be great podcasting.
Yeah. I maybe should have asked them before, but you know, it's fine.
But you're Deneé Hughes, so why would you? Why would you?
Denny Huggies is back.
All right. With all that said, we love you.
Oh, no, wait, hold on a second.
Yeah?
Jonathan, you just said Deneé Huggies, and it reminded me that actually happened when we were traveling. We went to a restaurant, and the lady said, Deneé Huggies?
Like recently?
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago. And I was like, it happened again.
Oh, that's well, Ian said it last week, so that was. But that's happened before, right? That wasn't the first
Yeah.
time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, that wasn't the first time, but it was the first time it's happened in a long time. So I was like, yeah, that's me. I wasn't
Deneé
about to
Huggies.
correct. Yeah.
All right. I do often need Huggies after eating at Denny's. That is,
Yeah.
that is it can
Right.
happen. It can happen
Yeah.
for sure. Let's get into the SinSide Scoop.
What's he building in there?
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
This is a true story.
We're each going to take a look at the videos from the week, the process of sinning them, how we felt about the stuff we are sinning in general. We'll kick it off in Commercial Sins World with a Planet Fitness commercial starring Lindsey Lohan. This was written by Chris Atkinson. I had a Planet Fitness membership for a while, so I'm familiar with the no judgment zone that happens over there. And honestly, it's not policed very well. They really didn't stop me from judging anyone. I was judging everyone in there, and nobody came up to me. So I
Well, that was made evident in the commercial itself as everyone was pointing at Lindsey.
Right. Deneé, kick us off. What are some of your thoughts on this commercial and this video?
I don't know. Anytime you can hear Chris scream troglodytes, I'm happy. So there was a
Right.
nice in there. But I really enjoyed the Dennis Rodman one where it was the breakdown of how you would win at Jeopardy, like all the daily doubles, and then looking at the board and doing this extrapolation of how she would have had this massive amount on her whatever column. I don't even know how Jeopardy works.
Score,
Questions and answers.
Score.
Yeah.
That's the word.
except in reverse order. It's
Wait, what?
answers and questions in Jeopardy.
Huh?
Yeah, they give answers, and the contestants ask the questions.
Oh, is that why they have to do the what is a troglodyte?
Yes, you got it. That's the
Man.
whole concept of the
Got
show.
it. We don't have it in England.
We know now. But those are always fun for me when they give the TV show or the commercial or whatever we're watching gives you something that you can really dig into. And watching Chris go at that, it's kind of like watching King Kong versus another gigantic
biplane.
creature.
A biplane?
That's interesting.
Yes,
Yeah,
sure.
biplane. There you go.
Yeah.
So that was fun to watch him destroy. What about you guys?
Jonathan, what about you?
This was on the most recent Super Bowl.
I think
right?
so.
Wasn't that?
I have no idea where it's
I
from.
think that's right.
So
I'll
yeah.
look it up.
I remember catching part of it out of the side of my eye, and I believe that was during the Super Bowl. It feels like a Super Bowl commercial, anyways. Maybe, but yeah, no, it was. I've never been a member at Planet Fitness. We have one right down the street that I pass every day, so I'm very tempted. But I was a Gold's Gym member for a minute, but that's the only gym I've ever done. But anyways, I also kind of like Lindsey Lohan, and I kind of feel bad. I guess she probably made some of these decisions, but still, I don't know, that career. I would say it's just nice to see her doing something, and I know she's doing some work with Netflix now too. So I just really liked her from I love Mean Girls and all that
I
kind of
understand
stuff,
what you're
so.
saying with Lindsey Lohan and other people like that because, yes, people make decisions, but not everybody makes them under a microscope. And when people make them under a microscope and they fail under a microscope or they make a poor decision under a microscope, it sucks. It's we've all made poor decisions. So, yeah, I totally get the empathy. I think it makes total sense.
And I don't think any of us, even watching those documentaries on kid stars, I don't think any of us are ever going to understand unless you're a kid star. I think that's a whole different thing. And I always have empathy for that. But as far as the video, it was really funny. Putting the British E in judgment,
That was
I
a
might
good
have
one.
taken that for me. And sorry, but yeah, that's all.
I have words. Don't worry.
That's an old argument even before Ian was here in the CinemaSins headquarters. And then I think Deneé mentioned the Jeopardy, which I thought was funny. Just the fact they would directly reference one of the contestants. They would ask a question like that. Also, I'm pretty sure it's not possible to get $170,000.
It can't be, right?
I mean, you could I guess
Daily
maybe
doubles.
after the final Jeopardy. If you had enough, but you'd still have to have
it's possible. The daily doubles make
80?
it possible. If you get both the daily doubles and you do full, if you get all the other points, then
that's
do
true.
two daily
That's
doubles in a
true.
row, yeah, you'll get up there.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's never been done though. I can't. I don't know
not sure.
what the.
We could find that out
I know what
pretty easily, right?
not this. I know this woman recently had that run, which I kind of quit watching Jeopardy after Alex Trebek died, sadly. But the guy that had the run before her, like I know he was getting like 60, 70,000 a day typically.
Yeah.
Okay, so
but
I just searched this, which doesn't answer the question, but I still find it interesting enough to share. Who won the most money on Jeopardy, which isn't helpful because there was a streak, a 74 consecutive
That's
games in a row
unreal.
winning streak.
So,
and what's that guy's
Ken
name?
Jennings?
I know
Ken
that.
Jennings.
Oh, Ken Jennings is the one. That's right.
yeah.
He did win.
No,
the most
he didn't
money.
win the most money.
Insane.
I
He
thought
had-
Brad-
Ken Jennings had the longest streak, but the other guy won more money. What was his name? Anyways, I do the most.
He's won like 5 million.
Yeah, the
or
most
something,
money
like,
you can
total.
actually win on one episode of Jeopardy is $566,000.
Wow.
Oh,
So
wow.
you can win that much on one
Holy
episode.
Yikes.
But you'd have to be
Max
You'd have to be
everything
at
up.
the max
Yeah,
for each
correct.
double,
Correct.
a
It
daily
looks like
double.
the most
Oh my
that
gosh.
has been won in a single game is $131.
$131?
Sorry, thousand. Look, in England, that's exactly what the conversion would be.
That's right. That's right.
I'm surprised there's not like an English Jeopardy though, because I mean a lot of game shows and stuff, get translated.
Yeah,
in other
honestly, I'm
countries, so
surprised as well.
that's-
We love our
yeah.
quiz shows.
Do you have any kind of quiz show?
We've moved more towards quiz shows with celebrities and panelists and comedians and stuff.
Oh,
But
maybe
Well,
that's
Who
why you
Wants
don't
to
have
Be a
Jeopardy.
Millionaire
Maybe you
came
have
from
other
England,
ones.
didn't
yeah,
it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we still have them. They're just kind of relegated to early evening watching.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you mentioned like Lindsey Lohan, Jonathan, because I just skipped right into like watching the content and really didn't think much about the person behind it. Because like they always choose celebrities like purposefully in a way. So I completely didn't think about the quote unquote redemption aspect of seeing her on a platform where a lot of people have eyes on her again. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
Ian, what are some of your thoughts?
I'm really just going to zone in on judgment because y'all wrong. What a tirade! Why do you hate my language so much?
Poor Ian.
It's just judgment and the fact that it's so judgmental about the way that it's judging the use
Yeah.
of judgment, and it does have an E.
Can I tell you something, Ian?
Please.
I've always put the E in it until I got to this job.
Me too.
And I was told that I shouldn't. And I was like, what are you talking about? It has an E
there.
in it. So until coming to CinemaSins, I didn't even know that you couldn't have an E in
Me
the
too.
word judgment.
So is that just one of those things where both spellings are?
I think it's
Technically,
just a
they're correct.
CinemaSins thing.
Yeah, it really is. It's a pedantic thing that
Yeah.
certain members of CinemaSins have latched onto. But yeah, I always spelled it with an E until I came
I did
here too and
too.
had the E scared out of me.
I had the E
Exactly.
scared out of me too.
Well, I just would
Which
get-
means my name is just DN, you know?
That's right.
All the movie titles though have it with no E, like Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Judgment at Nuremberg.
But you know what's strange is I never actually noticed it. I've always just read the word.
me
I
either.
never noticed the E situation until
I would just get
this job.
No, because you spell judge. You spell
I
judge
do
with
spell
an E.
judge with an E, yeah.
I would just get notes back on my script saying, I guess the Brit wrote this one, fire him.
Okay, no one said fire
that's
you.
exactly
No, I
what
don't
they
know
said.
that
That
anybody
might have
said
been a
the
little
last bit.
dramatic.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't say fire him. They'd say fur him. You know?
Fur- yeah,
you can't
fur him.
put the-
Yeah. Tar and fur him.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
you guys talked about all the ones. I really loved that Judgment Sin. The spelling of judgment without the second E, but an apostrophe in there. Just
Yeah.
that visual joke really cracked me up. There was so much good in that. And then, of course, ending it with USA. USA is always fun. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, just the over the top chanting.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good stuff.
All right, let's move into TV sins. We will start with the latest episode of Book of Boba Fett, The Streets of Mos Espa. This was a Hughes Watkins script. Jonathan and Deneé writing on this one, and Ian is already giving his opinion. So continue, Ian.
Oh, wait, what? Yeah.
No, you can't start with Ian.
No,
know-
let's start with me.
I always like when you have somebody that loathes something so much, even though like I don't like it, it sounds like it's my favorite.
Right? Yeah, you end up
something
defending
because,
it.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get caught up here a little bit, and I'm sure I'll figure it out in how you guys converse about Boba Fett. But this is my first time to, join you guys chatting about the show.
Do you want to start?
Have you been watching all the episodes, even the ones you're not on? I didn't know.
Yes. Yeah, I think I've seen at this point, so we're releasing them after we've seen all of them, and I believe I've seen every episode.
Nice.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen
Yeah.
the finale, but I'll
Well,
watch it
Deneé,
here
you
soon.
were on this, so why don't you start us off?
Okay. So I won't talk too long about Boba Fett because we're gonna have chats about it, probably every BTS episode because we hope to continue to release those. going forward. But I think if I understand kind of the fandom, that this is like this is a really interesting fandom show where there's this character that has been interesting for various reasons, and we finally get a chance to kind of focus on it because, you know, Star Wars is sort of blasting out their extended universe, and we kind of have a chance to hone in on a character that people are curious about. I think what's bothersome to me about this series so far, I'm going to try not to use future knowledge, but is that I still don't understand much about this character, because this show is about him taking something over, and I think we're supposed to understand like who he is through his actions.
Yeah. After 2 appearances and 2 movies,
right?
We're supposed to know.
And there's these flashbacks to things that are referencing, obviously, other material I haven't seen. So I know there's more out there that I could pull from if I chose to, and I don't. So I'm not like trying to, you know, say this is exactly how I feel indefinitely. But in the content that I'm watching, I just find myself going, I still don't understand why this person is epic, except for that they're, you know, they're a badass warrior of some kind. And I really felt like the story for me was in that indigenous, like, sand people arc. I really, really enjoyed that part of what I was watching. So it's hard for me to be like bouncing around. We're like looking at the past in these flashbacks when he's in the water, and then we're flashing back to more recent history with how he's become who he is today, and then interacting with his environment. And I think they're just relying way too much on the fan base knowing way more than the average viewer. So I'm not actually enjoying it, but I like Star Wars. So it's scratching like the sci-fi itch, but not a lot to just pull me in all the time. Like, this is amazing. This is incredible. Like with The Mandalorian, for example, it seemed to be a more cohesive storytelling experience for me, where even though I'm not related to The Mandalorian and I'm even Star Wars isn't like my most favorite, that there was like an interesting thing to watch every week. Whereas this one, I'm like, I don't know what I'm being shown yet. And every week it's like, it's depending on me to be so excited about what it's going to show me eventually that I'm going to stick around for it. And the only reason I'm sticking around for it is my job. In this particular episode, Crayola kids show up. We learn about Ted. And the most frustrating thing about this episode for me is the fight between Boba and Ted, where he puts on a fucking robe before coming downstairs rather than just charging down into battle. Lots of food is being wasted in this episode. And those things stand out to me more than the story itself, which tells you what I think about this show in general. So
yes,
those are my thoughts.
When an overflexed toe gets more screen time than the plot. Than the plot. Jonathan, what about you? How was your experience writing on this?
Aaron being the shadow on this was really funny on a couple of things. That toe one he just mentioned, I remember his note in the script was, I knew there'd be a scene.
I did. As soon as I saw it, I was like, Deneé is on the script and she will nail this. Yeah.
And then before we even had any script up, he just came on the Slack channel and said, if you guys don't put something in about those colorful bikes, I'm going to write it or something like that.
Yeah.
So, the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger bikes. No, this was This might be the best episode where it actually focuses on Boba. I'm not. That's not saying much. I'm not defending the show. I don't really like
what's
it.
coming next.
But if I have to, I don't. And I got to be honest. When we talk about what happens next, I don't know that I like those as much as you guys did.
Sure,
I really don't, because I didn't really care for those either. But this was just. It was okay. This one had a fun like supporting cast. Like Stephen Root showed up, and Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
Sophie Thatcher from Yellow Jackets is one of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So it was really cool to see them. That also made me. I just wanted to say about, is it Timura? I don't.
Yeah, I think
Timura Morrison. I remember liking him on Mandalorian and thinking he was fun, but also he didn't have as much to do on Mandalorian, so maybe that was part of it. Maybe him being in the spotlight.
He doesn't have much to do on this show either.
That's true, but these first 3 episodes he's been involved more, and we get like Rita Bantha, and I randomly. Well, if you want to know why I watched this movie, you should become a Patreon, and you should go listen to the bonus pod for February. Because I watched Speed 2 Cruise Control a couple days ago, and I had no idea he was in it. And he's actually pretty good in it. So, I mean, the talent's there. Like, I mean, there is, but I don't see it in this show. And I think that probably has more to do with just the writing and what they know to do with this character. Just this one also really started. I guess there was some stuff in the first two, but this one I really noticed just how this show is like 65% walking in the desert. And so it's been so infected in my mind. I just sent a movie the other day that's like 20 years old or even maybe longer than that. I can't remember the date it came out. And there's a lot of desert in it. And I actually wrote a Boba Fett sin in that script. That's how much
it's
like,
easy, right? Those are doom sins where you're just like, we're here for this because we have to be.
Was this the one that had the sin about don't worry, they show him riding back too or something like that? Oh,
yeah,
so true.
Yeah, and Jonathan points out like he had a speeder. Like, why not get on that vehicle?
Yeah, why does he ride the bantha? Oh my god, because he has to ride a bantha. And then also just Boba Fett, just this whole thing about we keep getting this like this whole idea about who's attempting to overthrow him. I don't care. And they keep doing like twist after twist or what they think are twists. And it's more annoying than anything. It's like, oh, once again, it might be somebody else because it's not the twins.
Yeah.
And it's just this is a very frustrating show, which makes it kind of easy to send, but also sometimes hard just because you're getting so frustrated with the show itself. You don't even know what to write or you write the same thing over and over. We could have had 40 sins about the desert.
Yeah.
Easy.
And we did.
It could have just been desert. Ding.
Yeah.
More sand.
This won't be the last piece of content we're talking about this week that is just a bunch of walking. So it's just it's just one of those things.
Get to that.
One of those weeks. This show, man, I just think it's a mess and a miss. I just think I don't know if the pandemic had something to do with it. I don't know if they changed plans midstream. I don't know what's going, and we'll talk more about the Mandalorian stuff that's coming in the next couple episodes. But even at this point, before that happened, I'm going, what are we supposed to care about here? I know you're building something up with the Tusken Raider family, but if that is informing like him as a crime boss, why is it he all about like leading with integrity and grace? And that's not the Tusken Raiders. No. They dragged their slaves in the desert. Like what? So I'm just trying to figure out like how is all of this tying together? I really didn't enjoy this show, but we've talked about that enough. I did enjoy, however, the keen eye that spotted the miles-long bantha hair hanging off the end of the weapon. I love that. And just finishing it with it, yes, it's a sin. Like
I can't do that.
So
trying to point to Deneé.
It was Deneé.
It was.
The Crayola Crayon Kid Gang seriously on their Chrome Power Ranger bikes that only go 15 miles per hour. It's the 15 miles per hour thing that kills me on this scene because they're so slow. And that chase is one of the worst chases in cinematic history. It's so terrible.
So bad.
Like you don't have to be Bullet every time, but like I think a Flintstones chase where they're like running in the car would be quicker than
we
that.
didn't sin it, but they actually did so many like the cliche chase things. They even like went through a painting, and like sometimes they'll go through like a plate of glass or something, or pane of glass. And this time it went through like a Boba Fett paint. No, it was a jar. Wait, what's the big guy? The twins' cousin.
Oh, the Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba. It was a Jabba painting, I think. And they like crashed through that. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, guys.
Yeah, that was something.
They even run in at the end of the race. They run into a pile of fruit. It's just like, what?
Yeah.
And they're going so slow. Someone can just like run beside them. Anyway.
Ian, what about you?
I think my biggest frustration is the missed opportunity. Like, there's always a chance you can make a good TV show. People do it. It is possible. And for Boba to be such a huge miss, for whatever reason, he has got this kind of legendary status in Star Wars canon. And
it was a toy, right? It was just a cool toy, and everybody played with that toy in the 80s, and it's like they made up their own stories about him. And
he's fun in Lego Star Wars, and this is just so strange in pitch and tone and theme, and this is where the tone just went wackadoodle and it just turned into a cartoon. And it's a very clear aesthetic that they're going for with the mods and the bikes, but it's dumb. I did not like it. No, it's not for me. But the video was great. The birth of Ted Yeah, just
Birth of Ted.
We called him Ted. Why not call him something more imaginative than Ted? But Ted is what he is, and Ted is what he should be called.
It's interesting. They call him Chrysanthemum in the show. His actual comic book character name is Black Chrysanthemum. Like that is, and so I find it interesting. I mean, I get it. I totally understand, but it's also interesting because I listen to a few podcasts with primarily black hosts, and that is like their favorite character, and they're.
We call him
he
Ted.
is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like he stood out for sure.
Yeah.
He's really cool.
He's great.
I think he's probably one of my favorite characters on the show, having watched it in its entirety.
But he doesn't need his own show, and that's probably what's going to end up happening because people are like us. He's really cool.
I brought all that up just to get to a great pun, which they make on their podcast that I would have put in one of the scripts if I didn't feel like it was blatant stealing.
Yeah.
They call him Chupac, which is
Oh my gosh.
Oh no. That's amazing.
Felt like Troy.
I love it.
Ted felt like the trolliest thing to do.
It's such a great thing.
That's
And one of my
great.
favorite parts of it is, when we continue to write on this series, we had to update one of the writers and explain, like, no, we can't call him his name. We have to call him
have to
Ted.
call him
And they're
Ted
like,
now.
what?
Wait, where did Ted come from?
Why? Because they missed the birth of Ted in this episode.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that
I think he meant Ted.
when I wrote that.
That's great.
Like, oh crap!
Like,
I
why are we
screwed it
calling
up.
him Ted?
Yeah.
Well, just because.
Yeah,
Just because.
we can.
Somebody mentioned the mask work on Chris Stanton in the comments, and I agree. I think that's part of it too. I think they just got his look down because some of these characters look a little cheap
Yeah.
and not as interesting.
Like the water butt. The literal water
I don't
butt.
know. I really like the work on this one. We make fun of several of the characters in this, and we continue to do so, and rightfully so. But overall, there is something really fun about like just a sci-fi show where you've got these different, masks and things. But like with these mods, even though they're kind of a throwaway experience overall for me, it's still interesting to watch like her hand moving and know that it's just like the CGI overlay and how interesting that looks. And I don't know, that's still interesting to watch for
it's
me.
a good idea. It's not wasted it is wasted. It's not a bad idea. It's just executed really poorly. I'm not going to rag on it anymore. Grumble. Grumble.
I tried to look this up and I couldn't find really anything to say when they decided to make this because I'm really curious if this just came because when they
1983,
realized.
I think.
No, I'm talking about the show. When they had those characters in Mando in the Mandalorian, were they just like they're really good together?
No,
or did they already have the show planned before that?
They already had it planned when they slipped it into Mando.
I just remember that was what I hadn't heard about. And then at the end of Mandalorian season 2, you just had that little bumper that was staying at the end. It was like coming soon. I was like, wait, where did this come from? Like, did they just? And it feels like a show that was just created on the spur of the moment. So that's why I wonder.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's Book of Boba Fett. I think that's episode 3. And we're going to continue to try to do those. Another show we continue to try to do, eventually we'll run out of them, but there's still plenty left to go, is Rick and Morty. And we're finishing up season 2. This is episode 9 of season 2. Look who's purging now. This was
It feels good.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. This is a Dicer Watkins script, so Jonathan and I subjected ourselves to this. I'll start. I loved this episode. I love most episodes of Rick and Morty. I just think it's really fun stuff. The main issues I had with it were the way the episode completely uses them being aliens when it wants to and then ignores it when it doesn't. Like, there are moments where it's like, don't freak out, we're aliens. And I'm like, yeah, but nobody is freaking it. Like, everybody's fine. You just dropped out of the sky in a spaceship, and I think we're supposed to believe this culture has never seen an alien before, and everybody's good.
They're like, just go to the general store if you want some wiper fluid.
Right,
You're good.
Right. Everybody's good. Everybody's good. So I wanted to mention that. The also completely insignificant B plot in this episode is so memorable to me. Like, it's one of those things, like, not only did I not even remember it was part, because it's about Jerry having a job, right? It's like Summer wanting Jerry to get a job. And I didn't even remember it was there. And there's
Tatty Mason or whatever. The thing is kind of fun.
Yeah, the Tatty Madison.
Tatty.
we'll get to that. Maybe in Nitpicking the Nitpickers. Maybe not. The narrator called him Tatty Madison, even though the text on the screen says Tatty Mason. Sometimes we just miss things, even though
Well,
lots and lots of
Wow, that's that's crazy.
lots
that
and lots of
happened.
eyeballs look at stuff, and somehow we all miss them. Anyhow, that whole thing it's not surprising to me that we don't remember it because it's literally 2 minutes of the episode. Like, it's so little of the episode. Most of it is the purging, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, I had a really good time with this one. What about you, Jonathan?
Yeah, no, this is probably, I don't know if it's, I mean, I can't remember every episode, but it's up there. It's a really good one. It's one of the highlights, I think, of the series. And, you know, they've done this a lot of times where they take like a movie, a popular franchise or something, and kind of do their own thing with it, like with Nightmare on Elm Street and Inception and all kinds of stuff. But I don't know, this really works. I love just I love the lighthouse guy. Like, everything about that character is so funny. And one of the things, it's really why it's good we have a shadow, because Chris actually, I think we had a sin around the point where he kills that guy, where Morty kills him. And then Chris was like, you guys do what you want. He's like, but I would definitely take a sin off for, you know, the, what was the line? It was,
do you want to go back to 3
you
weeks
like that?
ago?
You want me to cut to 3 weeks ago when you were alive or whatever?
It's
and
a
I was
great
like, no,
line.
you're right.
It's so great.
It's really funny. And just Morty just losing his cool for the rest of the episode, and then they're playing the Tony song, which is just perfect.
Yeah.
We unfortunately had to kind of work around that for various reasons, but that's a really funny highlight. Don't Google liver hole. That's just a suggestion I'm throwing out there.
Is that part of keeping tabs? What's going on?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Aaron brought up the thing about the aliens. Just that whole thing has just always been silly to me on this show. Sometimes Rick knows them, but when they go somewhere where Rick's never been, I never understand why they're not like, who the fuck are you? Like, what, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Because as far as I can tell, Rick's the only one that travels. It's a human in space. I mean, you don't ever see, unless you see other Ricks.
Yeah.
You know. But anyways.
Ian, how about you next?
Yeah, this episode's great. It's one of my favorites as well. I think it's just as much a riff on the Star Trek episode, which is basically a Purge episode as well, the Return of the Archons. Did you pick that up, Jonathan? I wanted a Star Trek scene.
No, I honestly didn't, because I just was so focused on the Purge. But now that you say that, you're correct.
Thank you. It's great. I love it. Love this episode. This was, I believe, a one-take belch your words from the narrator.
Yes, it was.
That is beautiful, belching your words.
That was an actual belch. I've been told by people who've heard it that it sounds like it had to be manufactured. No, that was legit. That was real.
So I'm glad we have that on the record.
I don't know why hearing Aaron burp is weird, but it is. It's like,
wait till you hear me fart.
Gross.
That would be weird too. Or if he cursed like that, if he got mad.
Yeah.
Like,
this room is unpleasant to
You've
be
seen
in.
me mad. I've been mad before.
no, I have, but like mostly through Slack though, which is even funnier because you're just typing.
It's very eloquent and very polite.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
It's like I'm
fuming.
stupid.
It's Flanders, guys. It's Flanders. If you've seen Flanders mad, you've seen me mad. Yeah.
Little Mouse on the Prairie. It's so dumb, but it just made me laugh. And any plan that involves having your sister launch your package. So good.
Yes.
Good stuff.
So good.
Deneé.
I really enjoy when we fold the space sins, because we have been ripped for them so many times because people have so many opinions on space, and you got science where there shouldn't be opinions on science, but then there's articles that, you know, so we do our research when we think about space. And so like the beginning of this episode, there are like back-to-back sins sinning how any of this really works in space with like the wings and the windshield wiper fluid and you know, all this stuff. But we're also sinning the viewers and their opinion, and also just ourselves in general. It was a really fun take on the fear that we feel when we have to sin things in space, because we know that the haters are at the door.
It's a rite of passage that Jeremy told me. It was I believe this is the fact. It was the first time Jeremy was like, oh, people are taking this seriously. Was that space sin that they got wrong? Like, you know, early, or got quote unquote wrong. It was Avengers, right?
Right.
It was
Iron Man falling.
Yeah, which is like the first video, like one of the very first videos. So yeah, the space thing is a rite of passage for all of us. Yeah, for sure.
Yes. And then I experienced it when we were sinning Star Wars.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yep. So I had the same thing happen.
Yeah.
So I felt that one deep in my soul.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed the sin that was having someone listening to you reading And then just this pause, like your screenplay, because it's a sin on us, which are really, really fun as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, Rick and Morty is fun. It's hard for me sometimes to sin these because of just the very, like the content. It's so wacky and wild.
And they sin themselves. They're so meta, you know, like sometimes it's like,
And some episodes, they're more meta than others. And I think like as the seasons go on, it's gotten harder to sin. So going back into season 2, I feel like, oh, okay, you know, this might have been quote unquote easier to just like dig into a little bit. But when you're assigned to Rick and Morty, when you're like, okay, here we go, you know, and there's always this level of intimidation that you can kind of feel for various reasons. And with Rick and Morty, it's not necessarily the fan base that you're fearing, like on Star Wars. It's more like the cleverness of the show, because it is such a brilliantly fucked up show. So
yeah, the fan base
you
loves
guys
it.
are great.
It's one of the greatest fan bases to sin. They have a blast with the video.
Yeah, that was one of those, and we almost didn't do it. So it's interesting. That was an interesting. I remember that still. So glad we went with let's try it.
Yep.
All right, let's move into CinemaSins. We will start with part 2 of Batman Long Halloween. This is still Scott Watkins writing on part 2. So
we tricked you.
It would have been so strange if you changed the writers entirely for part 2.
Right, yeah.
That would have been great.
Jonathan, kick us off. What are some of your thoughts?
I was just thinking about last week, though, where you're like, it's weird we only did part 1. I wonder how many people...
That's right.
How many people bought that? This might have actually already been up too by the time that episode aired. But anyways, because it was yesterday, right? So, so we did both of them because I hear there's a movie that's coming out this weekend that might be about Batman or something.
Maybe
I've heard something about that. So the most as far as writing this one, it was kind of. I mean, we did them so close to each other. The only problem I really had was that I kept referring to things and then I'd realize, I'm talking about the first movie. And so I ended up getting rid of a lot of those because I didn't want to have like a Saw 5 situation where we just had to keep getting clips from the other movies put up there.
Oh,
we keep we kept 1 or 2 in just because I thought they were fine the way they were. But yeah, that was the only thing that was kind of frustrating. It took me a little longer on this because it's like an 80-minute movie. And I don't know. I mean, that's shorter than Suits. So pilot. So, in general, I still think about.
In general, I find it good to avoid a Saw 5 situation. I think that's a good life motto. I'm trying to avoid a Saw 5 situation.
Yeah, in real life, kids, avoid Saw 5 scenarios.
Yes.
But that video was kind of infamous where Chris and I went back and we had to put in on clips from the other movies because we had just seen the movie and we were confused as to what we were talking about in the video. So. I was just kind of wary of stuff like that. But I thought the one thing I found weird about it was there was a lot of confusion at the beginning because like 3 months passed. Like they kind of do this thing because in the first movie they go through like Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. And then the very first thing of this, they just start flipping through a calendar. It's like that's like the first thing they do. And so all of a sudden we're like in April. Yeah. And like Catwoman just comes to save him at that point. And she makes some lame excuse about like, Poison Ivy was guarding you the whole time. Like, that would matter. So that's weird. The fact that they hadn't got all his money out of him yet was really weird because they had Bruce Wayne under a spell and they were trying to get him. It's like, why would that take more than 3 months? Why wouldn't he just sign a couple papers? So stuff like that was really confusing, I thought, from a narrative standpoint. And then I will say the sin about the teenagers only putting hoodies on. That's from my own personal experience of being in a suburban neighborhood that gets a lot of trick-or-treaters. And usually it's about like 7:30, 8-ish when the older kids show up in the hoodies. And you're just like, you could try a little. You could try a little bit, at least do something. Like get a broom. I don't know.
Right.
Do something.
Get a broom. Clean my yard. And then I'll give you candy.
Yeah. You want some candy? Yeah. Go rake my leaves.
Yeah.
That's how this works.
Yeah.
And they don't live there either. That's the other thing. Like, you don't live in this neighborhood. Like, where'd you even come from? You drove here. Don't be trick-or-treating.
Opinions. Ian, why don't you go next?
No! Yeah, I got so lost with this video because I know the idea of the videos isn't to tell you the story of the film, but it just seems so different from the first film.
It really does, doesn't it? I had the same experience.
Different.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not watching a part 2. It's like there's new characters. Mad Hatter is there, Joker is there, which was funny because we talked about Mad Hatter last week, but I didn't know he appeared in this video. It's such a strange experience, and And there's a post-credit scene with the Flash and Arrow as well. I'm not going to watch this, but the Sins video confused me. But in terms of the Sins, it was beautiful. I'm not a woman, but there's something off about Poison Ivy's costume. I don't know. My memory isn't at its best. I love that we continued that on from the previous
that was funny.
Previous video. Jeremy singing "The Room Where It Happens" was amazing, and I bet that
I understood that reference.
That's right. Deneé gets that reference now.
That's amazing. Two-Face will overpower Batman and slam him into wall, and I'm over here like,
oh,
fuck, he's
that was
a lawyer.
ridiculous.
It's so good.
Yeah, and he's
So
like
great.
we did that sin too about him shimmying down the banister or whatever. Yeah, it's like all of a sudden Two-Face has super strength.
Why does facial disfigurement give you super strength? Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, you guys did a good job.
Yeah. I'll go next. I had the same feeling about not understanding what was going on. It seems like such a different thing. I don't know that I need to. It does not appear to be something I would be interested in seeing. Even some of the DC stuff that people are like, yeah, that's amazing. I'm usually like, it's not for me or whatever.
Yeah,
including maybe a recent movie that came
spoilers.
out. So
you already saw Super League of Pets or whatever?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
saw that?
I already saw Super League of Pets. As far as the video, holy cow, I laughed so much during this video. And I am a sucker for just those like quick come out of nowhere surprise you kind of sins, and there's so many in this one.
Yeah.
Like inmates get 4 tacos. Died. I was just dead. I had to pause the video. Why? I don't know, because it just struck me so funny. Inmates get 4 tacos? Like it's just such an insane thing to be pedantic about. It's just so great. I just love that kind of stuff.
I will say that was funny. I wrote a longer sin. Like I had a longer sin about it, and Jeremy shortened it to that.
Yeah.
And it was perfect.
Yeah, it is
It's
perfect. Other ones like talking about, or I think the line is just like Harvey, and the narrator's just like pass the peep in, and it's so good. The like I need a third belly button line. Perhaps I've said too much.
I love that there's possibly a biography somewhere of all of the strange things about the CinemaSins narrator and what he has.
Chris one time said something about like he had kids at one point because like I think early on I think that's right. I could be wrong.
It reminds me of
something like that.
It reminds me of like Revelation has an explanation of what angels look like, and somebody's drawn based on all the different things it said what an angel would act. This is the narrator for CinemaSins. If you actually tried to.
Oh my God! No, burn, get up the fire.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. The mother, and then the sin is just Martha. Made me laugh.
Why do you say that name?
Just simply counting as another one of those. It was just like you just sinned counting for whatever reason. And then not like there's a career possibility in watching movies. I always think that stuff is fun as well because we all have one. Deneé, what about you?
Well, I didn't watch the first video. So I thought I was going to be confused. Turns out it didn't matter.
Totally different.
Doesn't matter. Different movie. Yeah.
That was kind of a delight. But yeah, the pacing of this one was really, really fun. It was there's those quick ones you're talking about, Aaron, that just slayed me back to back to back. It's one of those. This is one of those that I could have written down way more than I should for the show.
Yeah.
So, I highly recommend this one. I love Batman material, and so what I like about watching this Sins video is that I don't have to do any kind of like thinking about it because I know all the characters and these different references that they're making. It's just part of my DNA from watching the Batman cartoon every day growing up. And this had a very reminiscent feel in the way that it was animated as well. So I actually really enjoyed this because I love Batman, and I loved watching it get picked apart as well, of course. And it was really interesting too to be like, I've never seen these before. I wonder what they're like, because sometimes you think you can watch a movie just by watching the Sins video. That's not entirely true.
Nope.
Or you'll have a very shaded version of what you're watching. So I was kind of, while watching this video, I'm having a good time, I'm clipping along, and then there's this fan part of me that's like, I want to watch this because I love Batman. But will I? Of course not. I really love the sin about Catwoman trying to talk him out of being poisoned. What a great observation. Just the strange things that happen in entertainment when there's this dialogue happening that's giving the audience information that the audience needs, but when you ask yourself why they're communicating when one is poison and one is talking, that's just really, really funny to me. You guys mentioned a lot of the other ones, but the other one that I really enjoyed was the lead-in was we found guns in your basement, and the sin is if it took place in Tennessee, the cops would be surprised not to find guns in the basement. And being from Missouri, from the Midwest, I'm like, yeah, that's
Checks
not
out.
something that would be an alarming. I guess depending on how many guns or what they look like, but
Honestly,
there
if
wasn't
you're in
really
Tennessee,
explained.
having a basement is really weird. At least, especially Middle Tennessee. There's so much
There you
rock.
go. Yeah. So overall, really fun. I enjoyed it.
All right, let's move into The Green Knight. This was
Let's do it.
an Atkinson Dicer script. Chris and I writing on this. So I'll kick us
What
off.
an amazing movie, right?
You know, it was interesting because Chris, like a couple days before, we're due to finish up the script together and do Combine and that couple of stuff, he's like, have you started writing on this yet? I'm like, no. He said, I just want you to know, feel free just to go all out weird.
Be weird.
Just
I remember I was there for that conversation for some. I don't remember what we were doing. But
yeah, it was on a meeting of some
that.
sort. Yeah, we were in
Yeah.
a meeting or some sort, and Chris was just like, just go for it, be your weird self. And I was like, yep, that's me. I'll do
Nice.
it. And so
Like you needed to be told that.
yeah, right. Like, yes, that's what I should have said. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for permission to be me. But no, there is something about this movie where it's like, how are we going to sin this without just being a little bit goofy? Because it is so abstract. It is so metaphorical. It's based on a poem from the whatever century, so it's such a weird thing. And so, yeah, there is a lot of goofiness in this script. And I think a lot of fun. I loved writing on this, loved this script. It was so much fun. The Combine process was fun as Chris and I, kind of ironed some things out and did some different things. As far as the movie goes, the first time I saw The Green Knight, I think I was so in awe of how beautiful it is because it is beautiful. That I just missed how utterly boring it is. Like there's so little that goes on in this movie. And not only that, so much of it is hard to understand and hard to, process what it's trying to say. It has an interesting ending, so that helps as well. And by interesting, that also could mean confusing. But I found, thinking about what the message is from the ending, what it means, how it happened, like that's fun stuff for me to think about. But man, watching this with a fine-tooth comb to sin it completely changed my perspective on this movie. And that happens sometimes. I think it's a lot show and not very much go, But I think I still like the ending. I just don't like the movie not quite as much. Interested to hear what you guys have to say. Deneé, why don't you kick us off?
Oh man, this one's like, ooh, what is this? What do I see?
This is your kind of like
100%.
material, yeah. It's not your
as
kind
soon
of
as it was
movie,
like,
but it's your kind of world
Yes.
there was
material.
like this, like, so the first thing I wrote down was like, oh, is this a King Arthur movie? And then the sin just like obliterates that. I'm like, oh, this isn't a King Arthur thing. I think that I'm intrigued by this because of what the sins were alluding to, like the beautiful cinematography in these gorgeous angles. Like there's a sin about this with the water being too deep, for example. But the water is just like this red color. And then
so
there's
gorgeous.
this gorgeous shot of this single person just, swimming down. So this is definitely a movie that would be interesting to watch while not in your right frame of mind, I'm sure. It almost looks like this is the kind of movie that would inspire a lot of D&D campaigns. Maybe not the best one shots ever, but there's some bad guys in there. There's some traveling. It kind of looks like they captured the boring parts of the adventure too.
That is this movie.
Yes.
And I think it's intentional. It's just so interesting, and it's just such an interesting choice.
It's interesting to me because we had a chat about Dune, all of us together, and there was like this world building that you talked about, Aaron. You talked about enjoying the world building and the slower pace. So I'm curious, like, what's the difference with the slower pace with this one versus Dune for you?
I don't think there's as much world building here. That's the thing.
Okay.
It's just the knight is on a quest and he meets people and and
I guess that's true, right?
There's not a lot of, oh, what's this gadget do, or oh, that's an interesting technology, or oh, this race of species is interesting.
It's more like that's a horse.
Yes, that is him riding a horse literally for over a minute on a road without cutting away. Yes, this is movie. Yeah,
it's one of those moments where I go, in the future, maybe hundreds and hundreds of years in the future, should our planet survive, we watch that and say, gosh, I'm so glad we had uninterrupted video of someone riding a horse, because now we have a better understanding of horses because they're gone now.
Yeah.
So, but this is something that it would be really intriguing. It seems to me like a movie where you'd be filling in a lot of the blanks and creating your own story within their framework, because they're leaving so many things up for interpretation, which drives me batty sometimes. I think, Ian, I'm watching you hesitate that I would enjoy this movie. That might be why, is like, ultimately, I don't know that I would enjoy it, but it has the notes of one of those high fantasy movies that I want to enjoy. Yeah. So I was really intrigued by this. On this one, I decided to use the new YouTube clip feature for and kind of test that out for my show prep. So instead of writing the sins down, I clipped them, and then I realized that wasn't the best idea. So so I'm gonna share like a whole bunch of links in the live chat for those of you, and I'll also put it up in our BTS Discord of the sins that I'm pulling out for the ones that I really enjoyed. You guys can watch them, and it should just be a clip of the exact sin that I'm talking about. But there was a really funny Fox News one that was just like a real quick kind of hit, where there's like this evil sounding fox. So that I really appreciated that one. There was a sin about the interlude, which slayed me, in which the sin is about figuring out that the word interlude is just time between here and here. And then the narrator gets upset and like leaves to take a piss and comes back. I really enjoyed that, because it's like this uninterrupted shot of the movie while we play the audio of Jeremy peeing. Has that ever been done before? Nope, don't think so. So funny just to know that everyone's just having to listen to Jeremy, pee.
Well, I wasn't sure. Like when I wrote that, I wasn't sure if that was too much, and Chris was like,
so
it's great, it's fine.
It's so funny. It's
theater
perfect.
of
It's
the
what
mind,
would happen.
Yeah.
It's what would happen in the moment. Like when you're like, this movie is taking forever and I have to piss. You just run and pee and come back. And the movie, nothing has happened. And it's like the perfect reaction. Like, that's what I thought. And then we send it.
But it's like an extra level of trolly as well, because we're now making people watch something really mundane in the Sins videos because the movie is doing the same to us.
One of the original ideas was literally to have him say, I'm going to go take a bathroom break, and then just play the movie for like the next minute. And because it's like a minute of nothing or whatever. But we thought, no, it'd be funnier if you could kind of hear what he was doing.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff,
that was really fun. Almost like he accidentally brought the microphone with him into the bathroom.
Right,
The keeping your 5 fingers strong as a virgin sin was fantastic.
Beautiful.
The creation of medieval times I really enjoyed. This just had a whole bunch of really fun kind of deliveries. So for as strange as the movie was, it's like the perfect movie to sin, because this was a great video.
Yeah, it was fun. Jonathan, what about you?
Yeah, that's interesting that Deneé mentioned the Fox News thing, and I'm not surprised that was funny, because that's easily the best sitcom on television right now. So
it's also
political humor.
It's also a callback to a sin I wrote for I think Prince Caspian. It was one of the Narnia movies where the fox talks and tells them something that's going on, and the sin was just Fox News. I was like, I can bring that back. Not everybody's seen that.
I am like Aaron. I didn't work on this, but I rewatched it not too long ago, maybe a month or so before you guys did it. And I was like watching it going, I swear I liked this when I was watching it in the theater. No, I mean, I still, I guess, kind of do. Like, there's things to like in it. It's a really interesting movie to look at. I think Dev Patel is good. Yeah. I think that guy he looks good on screen, man. He commands the screen. Yeah. I don't know. There are parts of it I like. I could have done without the whatever he's doing on that belt or whatever. I don't even know what that's
on his cummerbund.
Yeah. I still was trying to. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was a literal cummerbund. I like that we took sends off for quick logos. It's always funny to me when we actually take sends off for the logos. And then just the whole thing about the goose taking down the goat, and like I didn't know that I needed goose and goat fighting. And I'm like, that felt like when I heard that, I was like, oh, did Deneé write on this? Because that felt like a Deneé send to me, like something she would point out.
Thanks.
And then it's a literal Magic Kingdom. I can't wait till Disney buys A24 and turns this movie into a ride at Fantasyland. And I want that to happen so bad.
I don't know that you do.
Oh man, I'd be like, what would that even be? Like Hereditary,
I've
the
got
ride.
some ideas.
Yeah. Ian, what about you?
I can't even pretend to like this film. I thoroughly disliked it from the first time I watched it. Now, I did watch it on a plane, on a tiny little screen.
So you didn't even get like the
flight.
beauty of it, like
I
expansive.
couldn't even tell the good shots until I watched this video. And yeah, I'm sure it's pretty, but this movie wound me up so much because it doesn't need to be so long. It would be great if it was like a 20-minute short and did some like crazy metaphorical stuff, but it is so slow and it is so dreary and it is so up its own arse. It's just like, I am a movie and I'm going to tell you a story. You will not understand most of the story, but you shall watch it because your eyes are mine. There's less heavy-handed ways to be metaphorical and to use imagery and not be so fucking abstract that I don't know where I am, what I'm doing, and there are giants walking through the desert, behemoths.
Yes, the behemoths.
There's a fox, and now he's ejaculating on a cummerbund, and is this an affair? Now the king loves him, and now that other man loves him, and this is great, and I'm on a horse, and
he turned into an Old Spice commercial there for a second.
I'm on a horse. Look into my eyes. It's a diamond. It irritated me on a very fundamental filmmaking level. And it's almost even more annoying that it's A24 because it's like, yeah, we can get away with that shit because it's us. I was like, there is an element of that, but you still need to make an entertaining movie, which I don't think this is. The D&D comment really summed it up for me. It's like all of the bits of the campaign that you skip over during the night. It's like, we're going to do a 6-hour time jump now to get you to the village that we need to be in. There's a reason we do that, because it's boring as fuck to just watch 6 hours of horseback riding.
You know, it's interesting. It's David Lowery directed it, and I really, really liked Ghost Story. But I've only watched it once, and now I'm scared to watch it again.
I've seen it a couple times. No, it's really good. He also, I think he did All Them Body Saints too. I think that was another one of his that I really enjoyed.
Ain't Them Body Saints, yeah.
Ain't Them Body Saints, yeah.
So I reviewed the Combine for this when it came in, and I was not looking forward to rewatching the movie, but I did. It was fine. And this was one of those scripts where you can tell it's friggin' hilarious. Like, sometimes things don't work until you actually see it on screen. And you're like, I'm sure there'll be an image for that. But all of this, I was like, this is going to be hilarious. And it was. And that's why these are the perfect videos to sin as well, because you can just go wackadoodle and it's a parody. The more crazy you are, the more of a parody of the video it is. For the sins, starting a movie with indecipherable whispers, all I heard was books eat a girl with snark toes. It's great. So good.
That's exactly what I heard.
Yeah. The goat thing was great. Insisting that kilometers need to be invented already. I was like, no, they existed. It's just not what we used. I love it. Taking the Christmas tree down too early is such a satisfying sin because it's so true.
It was a lot of fun to just have that freedom to be silly and just know that anybody watching this, there's going to be very little of the scientific space sins that people are going to push back on.
Yeah,
so it's a lot of fun. All right, let's move into the comment section.
I appreciate your honesty. You're a real straight shooter.
You are the ones who are the ball lickers.
We're each going to pick a comment from the week's content from the various places you reach out: Discord, YouTube, Reddit, etc. Ian, kick us off.
So I just have a very nice one, and it might be stealing your comment, but it comes from Zvilin Vasilev. Apologies if I mispronounced any of those words or names. And it's from the Rick and Morty video. Oh, Aaron, you are as awesome as Jeremy.
Aww.
And you know what? I just wanted to pull it up because even after how many years have you been the narrator for TV Sins?
I'm not sure. It's
3 years.
I don't think I've been. I think it's been more like 2 years. I think it's
That seems right.
I just recently narrated more videos than Jeremy, so I've now narrated more videos than Jeremy on the channel.
2 years in, and you still see it pretty much every week. Of well, this voice isn't Jeremy.
Where's Jeremy? Bring back Jeremy.
Bring back Jeremy, and this sucks. So it's just. You know what? It's nice to see the internet just give out a bit of praise. And
I got a compliment on my singing voice, too, which is always fun.
That I didn't agree with.
Sorry. Ian's like, Listen.
No,
I gave
wasn't
you
gonna
one
say
thing.
that.
I'm not giving you another.
No, one is
absolutely.
enough.
Nice. Deneé, what about you?
I really enjoyed the comment on the Green Knight from Twisted Jester, who says Jeremy needed to give himself a sin for not washing his hand after that piss.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's in
which
nitpicking.
I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, is that in the nitpicking?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll discuss it.
I'll go next. This is from Child of Venus, who says, I'm surprised you didn't sin the show's audacity to expect us to believe Rick was overpowered by a little girl because she had a knife. The same guy who fought with Zeus and brought down a military agency while he was a pickle. It is funny to think of when the show allows Rick to be weak,
yes.
and it's always plot based. And so I just thought that was fun because that's a great sin. And I love it when somebody points out a great sin without starting, you missed.
Mm-hmm.
Just chef's
give
kiss.
us the sin.
Chef's kiss. That's beautiful. Just give us the sin. That's awesome. Jonathan, what about you?
That's what I have as well, actually. On Long Halloween 2, Feral Dynasty said, a universe in which Flash and Green Arrow are aware of Batman's secret identity should also be a universe in which Bruce Wayne isn't publicly appearing in the presence of a known supervillain for 3 months, signing over his assets to her boss. You can't tease your Justice League team up and also pretend Bruce getting mind controlled for 90 days is even remotely plausible, which is so true.
Yeah.
And if they just don't put Green Arrow and Flash at the end, that's not. It's just weird. It doesn't even make sense to have a stinger, and then on top of it, because I think we send that too. Like you have a stinger on part 2, and then you open up a bunch of other questions that never get answers. We had a lot of nice stuff on that too, by the way. Just real quick, Alicia Manir said, "I love this channel. Never fails to make me laugh."
Yeah.
Hadi Zabid said, man, I completely agree with every single sin in this movie. Heck, some of them were my questions and doubts when I was watching the movie. Great job, CinemaSins. And Blake Underwood said, I just wanted to say thank you for entertaining me all these years. You guys rock.
Aw,
nice.
Thank you.
It's
guys.
nice to
Thank
see
you,
some
guys.
nice comments.
There are some comments or questions in the comments live about when that transition happened from Jeremy to me for the narration. It happened in Narration Universe. It happened in the middle of a Rick and Morty video where they were replacing Rick with somebody else or something. And it was like, can you imagine just all of a sudden a different narrator's narrating your favorite channel or whatever? And then from then on, I was the narrator.
Incredible. What a good transition.
Yeah, I think it was Story
You
Train.
were looking for that out.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it was a lot of
is
fun.
Rick and Morty season 1 the one that has some of Jeremy on it too?
Well, yes, season 2 as well. There's
that's
Jeremy
right.
narrated some of season 1 and season 2. Yeah. So
awesome.
So there you go. Let's move into a brand new segment. Woo! Nitpicking the nitpickers of the nitpickers.
But we wouldn't want to nitpick, right, Danny?
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more.
Actually. Oops. What do you mean, oops?
Missed it by that much.
Am I just going to nitpick everyone until they leave me?
Ian, take it away.
Well, we'll dive straight in with the hand washing. So I can't believe how many comments there were.
It's just littered with people like, do you not wash your hands?
Why did you going to play the audio?
Yeah,
Why not wash
I
your
don't.
hands?
Why is that a problem? It's my life.
That's right. It's my house.
Yep. I love what people look into. Deneé, do you agree or disagree with hand washing? Should Jeremy
public
wash his
hand
hands?
washing? Out in public?
In general. Should Jeremy
Just
wash
in
his hands
general.
after urinating? Or should shake and walk?
Okay, well, there's two questions there. Are you talking about in general, or are you saying like in that moment, listening to that sin, should Jeremy have washed his hands?
Yes.
'Cause those are two different questions.
Yeah, we can talk about both.
Okay. In general, yes, wash your hands. In your house, I don't care.
Oh, okay. But what if you go into that person's house? Then they've touched all of the things that...
You're making a choice.
Okay. To go into someone else's urine-stained house.
When you go into someone's home, you're making a lot of choices you don't know about.
That is very true.
So yeah.
This is why I stay in my house.
I found it interesting, not only that so many people were commenting on it, despite the fact that this is an imaginary narrator, imaginarily peeing, and so many people are so concerned.
Oh, it's so funny though. I love it so much.
Brilliant.
Like,
And I
he
think
just
a lot
gave
of it is
himself COVID.
I think a lot of it is concern trolling, kind of to be funny kind of thing, which I totally get. Listen, I've already done this publicly, so I don't mind doing it. I defend people who, especially guys who don't wash their hands after they pee. There's really nothing, like you take a shower, your hands are more dirty than your penis. You should be washing your penis after you pee.
But what about the
not
urine?
washing.
Like
you get
the
urine
splash.
on your hands
How do
when you pee?
How do you get the penis in the sink? I'm not. Maybe since you're
that's
tall.
that's what you should be doing.
Maybe since you're tall.
Wow.
What are short people supposed to do?
Yeah,
it's a fair point. It's a fair point, Jonathan. It's a fair point. But no, I don't have a problem with, especially after urination, with not washing
walking
hands.
in a men's room and some guys doing that. That would be.
In fact,
when I leave, I'm trying to figure out if I would leave. I'm pretty sure I would, but depends on how bad I had to go pee.
I thought this was going to be really clear cut, but I don't know if anyone is right or wrong now.
This was in one of those comments. Turin says, the whole wash your hands after peeing thing has never made sense to me. I shower daily. I don't piss all over my hands. Why am I washing my hands after doing nothing more than briefly holding my penis? It's just skin. Do you wash your hands every time you touch your arm?
Yes.
Depending on your pants situation, you don't even always have to use your hands. So
no, that's what I'm saying. Like I have seen men pee, and there have been times I was just like, wow, you didn't have to do like anything.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Today's penis envy is firmly back.
Yeah, I once accidentally saw a man eat a baguette as he was peeing into a urinal in a public restaurant.
That's different.
No, he had a baguette in his back pocket. He pulled it out and just started munching on it, just free peeing.
So here's my
wrong.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
True story.
Oh my god! I now wish that sin moment included him like having a snack.
Crunching on some chips.
Here is the follow-up to that statement that I always make. Here's my addendum. I do wash my hands most of the time after I pee for one reason alone. It's good to wash your hands as much as possible. Just in general,
they
wash
probably
your
been
hands.
dirty from other stuff.
That's the
before
thing.
you
It's
pee.
not because I'm going to the bathroom. It's because I'm in a place where I can wash my hands. There's soap available, and
right. What if you hold someone else while they're peeing? Do you wash your hands after them?
What if you're playing swords?
Yes.
Yeah. No, there are plenty of instances where we should probably more be likely to wash our hands than after urination that we don't. But so just wash your hands when you have the chance. That's the main thing. Your hands are dirty.
I think that's an amber. I don't know if I'm confident to give that a green or a red.
That's a weird way to put it.
I did not know how.
Ian's like, I've listened to everything you've had to say, and I'm giving this an amber alert.
Yes,
that's
amber alert.
I'm literally like, wait, what's an amber?
Amber is we cannot decide. And
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
gonna leave
yellow.
it there.
It's a yellow.
Yellow?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Is it yellow?
It's yellow here. We say yellow. Yeah.
Wish we decided the
Amber
rules
is
ahead of time.
a woman.
Do you have Amber Alerts in England? Did you know what I was talking about?
No, I know. Well, I had one in America, and I was like, why is my phone making that noise? Like, it's never done that before.
In places like Florida, where you have a lot of retirees, they have, I believe it's silver alerts.
Interesting.
For like elder. No, I mean, I'm being serious. Like, I'm not making
a missing
a joke.
elderly person.
Elderly person, because you have the people like
Okay, that makes sense.
that just wander off if they have like Alzheimer's or something. Stuff like that. So they have silver alerts.
Can we take like a 12-second break so I can go wash my hands though?
No. I think Aaron is going to like this one. So this is from Batman. Actually, there is a difference between being done and finished. And this is the sin that they said done and finished, and it's the same thing. Being done doesn't mean that you've completed what you're doing. It just means you're stopping, but you may pick up where you left off one day. Being finished has more of a finality. It means you've completed your objective.
But you could also be finished for the day. You could be finished but not done, right? I mean,
no, you can be done for the day. As in, I'm done for the day on this script.
You could also say
I'm not writing
finished
it anymore.
For the day. You could say I'm finished.
Which means I'm finished.
No, it doesn't.
For the day.
Not necessarily. It means you're finished for that
Master
day.
of words.
No, this is a solid green for me. I think this is a decent linguistic distinction.
I mean, I didn't write it, so I don't care.
But don't even care.
But yeah, I would give that a green. I think that's right.
I think that's fair. Deneé, I know you don't care.
Mm-hmm. What were we talking about again?
The difference between done and finished.
Yeah, I mean, after being friends with Aaron for so long, if you're not careful with your words, you end up getting into trouble. So if finished means something more particular,
even though it doesn't,
you should probably use it correctly.
It does. Well, if you like Aaron being wrong, the word you're looking for is yonic, not vulvish.
Yeah,
which would have fit with phallic. Yes, from the Rick and Morty.
Correct. I give that a green too. The only reason I went with vulvish is because that to me is more quickly and easily understood and laughed at.
Yeah, which is totally fair.
But I don't mind making something a little more where you have to say. But yes, yonic is the female equivalent of phallic. That is definitely true. Yeah.
If we've got time for one more, there was a mild debate about Batman's armor in the Batman video and how it was far too easy for his armor to be stabbed And I struggled with this one because some of the comments said that you can have one or the other. It's either bulletproof or it's stab-proof. And Batman would be more likely to wear bulletproof armor because he could disarm somebody with a knife. So it might be fair that he was able to be stabbed.
So you can stab a knife through Kevlar.
Apparently.
Interesting.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I think I might have to go green there too.
I thought it was an interesting debate that Batman would have to choose between which to have and didn't wear both.
Well, see, I'd have to do some more research then. Yeah. Can it be both? Is there armor that's both?
I think you could just wear both. It's just going to be really heavy.
You could just wear a knight's, armor.
Full plate mail. I don't know why he doesn't
your
do
Kevlar.
that.
Yeah.
Kevlar is used in both bulletproof and stab-proof vests, so there is a distinction. Interesting. That seems dumb.
Strange, isn't it? You'd think
just wear
one
two
would work
vests.
for both.
Just wear two vests.
Yeah, that's one of those things. I mean, sometimes, you think something's so obvious you don't have to even mess with it. So you don't have to look
it's
it up.
perfect.
Is this a good time to point out that Batman's not real?
Wait.
What?
So what's the difference
Stop.
between... Yeah, that's going to be my next Batman thing. I'm just going to have Batman is not real.
Well, I did do a little bit of research, and it's interesting that originally the big yellow bat symbol was the only bulletproof part of his body because it was meant to be a target. So it was to draw the eye and people would aim there. But I still don't know why. Just make it all out of the yellow stuff.
That seems silly. That seems silly.
So is completed the same thing as finished in your world?
Yes.
Go back.
Yes, completed is finished. Yeah.
See, I still think it's correct to say I have finished for the day, even if you're not done. It's totally correct to say that.
But you can be done without being finished. That's the point.
That's what we mean. Yeah.
Like I'm done with this segment,
exactly.
but we're not finished.
We're not finished.
Exactly.
I did it. I'm learning.
It.
Oh, I did it.
All right. Let's move to Sin to Win.
Wait, what do you want to do? You want to play a game?
Please, nobody ever lets me play.
I want to play a game.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
Competition is meaningless.
Brand new segment alert.
Amber alert.
No, not an Amber alert. The segment isn't missing. It's here.
It's here.
We're going to play some Sin to Win this week for our finishing segment, or our segment where we're done. I don't know, whichever you prefer. So, Deneé, you are going to lead us through a game. What is the game today?
I'm so excited.
Explain it to us and help us get through it.
Great. This is where I don't actually know what's happening. This is the fun part of me being told to do something that I don't entirely understand myself. But we're just going to jump in and do it.
All right, sounds good.
Right?
Do you want me to try to explain it a little bit before you jump in?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it gets even better or worse, depending on your perspective. I don't even know how we're supposed to be ranking. There's point system. Deneé doesn't understand point system either.
All right.
So yeah, you just let us know. I know that I have
clues.
Stuff.
You've got stuff
to read you.
Yes.
It looks like Deneé's wagging her tail right now because
does.
all you see is the tail.
Yes.
So excited.
Podcast listeners enjoy that visual. All right, so we're gonna get into Sin to Win. Here's what we're playing today. We are playing a game that is Guess the Sins video from The Sins. Thank you and big shout out to JCD for helping us put together some of these clues. Really appreciate that. And all this is each of us will have, we will start with a movie that we are going to try to guess by the clues that we're given. And those clues will be sins from the Sins video. And we're trying to guess which movie we were sinning with these sins. They will, you can guess. If you guess wrong, it goes to the next person at that level. And you can wait if you want and guess at a lower point level when it is your turn. So there will be 3 of these, one for each of us. And it starts at 5 points if you guess it on the first clue, and then it goes to 3 points on the second clue, 2 points on the third clue, and 1 point for the final clue. So that is the score keeping. If it continues all the way around, it could come back to you. So for instance, if you take a wrong guess on the first clue, and then Jonathan takes a wrong guess on the second clue, and I take a wrong guess on the third clue, it could come back to you on the final clue.
But just to be clear, it can never come back to me.
No.
No.
Correct.
No,
Deneé is the MC.
You might want it to because you know the answer.
I know. Guys, I'm going to win every time.
So Deneé, pick whoever you want to start and pick the movie, and let's go.
Okay. And then I'll work at understanding this more as time goes on, but I'm not going to pressure myself to get it all.
Don't tell us the movie.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay. So who do you want to start? Who's starting?
Whoever you pick. There you go.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Here's your first clue. Here's the sin. This guy accidentally uses his porn name as his military call signal?
I know it. I'm just kidding.
I hate you.
We also have a time limit too.
Oh, that is true. I need to bring up the timer. We will do, what do we decide? A minute?
Oh, it's just Deneé gets to decide when it's been too long.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. No need to have standardized rules or
I don't
anything.
like that because I would have the least amount of time of anybody.
Okay, you want the next one?
Next sin.
Okay. Do you really need a wall-sized TV screen when you're sitting 3 inches from it?
These are always movies
not giving
too,
me
right?
much.
Are we only doing movies? I'm just making sure. Okay.
Yeah. This is a movie.
So only 900 videos to choose from.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, give me the next one.
Okay. Marine regresses to a 4-year-old popping bubbles.
Oh, that should be good. Like that should be a hint,
Should
right?
be it. That should be the one that gives it to me.
Marine
So it's definitely an army
regresses
film.
to a 4-year-old popping bubbles.
Popping bubbles.
Military film. Army would be different than Marines, but
Thank
yes,
you.
military film. Yes.
Military film. It's all the same. Big screen. Next clue.
Okay, this is the last one.
Okay.
All right. I mean, once you've obtained some of it, shouldn't you change its name to Can Obtain But Still Really Fudging Rarium?
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is?
Oh, absolutely.
I have no idea.
Give that again.
I mean, once you've obtained some of it, shouldn't you change its name to Can Obtain But Still Really
it's
Fudging
Avatar.
Rarium?
It is
It's Avatar.
It is Avatar.
I didn't know if you were giving me a sin or you were like questioning something. Yeah, it's Avatar. Sorry. Yeah,
What was
Hey,
the
you got
call
one. You got
tag?
one whole point.
One
You got 1 point. That's great.
What was
All right,
the
Aaron.
What was the question, Jonathan?
I said, what was the call tag then that we said was a porn name? I've only seen
Oh,
Avatar
good question.
once.
I have no idea.
No. I was going to go for Alien if I was just going to plump for one because of the Marines. I don't know there's Marines in Alien, but yeah, it's
Aliens.
definitely
Shout
Avatar.
out to our live chat who's doing a very good job at not telling us the answer. So thank you. Even though we hadn't even said anything, we really
Thanks,
appreciate that.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for the private messages, though, telling me what the answer was.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Okay, let's go to Jonathan.
All right, Jonathan.
Are you ready?
Yes.
So number 1, discount. Oh no, it's a name. Pavel Chevok.
Chekhov.
Chevok.
Just a Star Trek thing. That's all.
Yeah,
Check
but
a-
it doesn't
check
mean
a
it's a Star Trek
Kenobi.
movie because you're saying the characters.
No?
The character
Correct.
looks
Discount.
Discount.
Although it could be. But I don't know enough to guess, so I'll go for the next one.
Okay. Also, this combination apparently only takes 2 quick turns. This is the 1984 equivalent of making your password.
Oh, this sounds really familiar. Can you
Got a date?
cut out a little bit at the beginning? Can you reread that one?
Also, this combination apparently only takes 2 turns, 2 quick turns. This is the 1984 equivalent of making your password.
I'll take the next one.
How is keeping your options open a counter to being a cheat, a liar, and a jerk to babies?
Is this Star Trek 2009?
I think.
Oh, Ian thinks.
I think I know what it is.
Yeah, it passes
Does
on
that
to
mean
Aaron.
it passes on?
It does. It passes on to me.
Okay. So to recap, Aaron.
Yes.
Discount Pavel Chekhov. Also, this combination apparently only takes 2 quick turns. This is the 1984 equivalent of making your password. And how is keeping your options open a counter to being a cheat, a liar, and a jerk to babies?
I know
Oh,
it.
I think I do too.
You know it.
I know it.
You know
I
it.
am positive.
Oh, you're killing me.
I know it.
Okay, I'll put
cheat,
time on the
a
clock. I
liar,
think-
and a jerk to babies. A cheat, a liar, keeping your options open. 1984 equivalent. I have a guess, but I'm not.
Well, he can hear
Yes.
another. He can.
You
hear
want me
another
to
one.
guess?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, is it worth the extra point? No,
You
give me
would
the
give a
fourth clue.
point to-
Give me the fourth clue.
Okay.
Give me the fourth clue.
Strategy. Okay, final clue. Where has this apple eater been the whole time? What has he been waiting for? He's had almost the entire ship to himself for like an hour. He could have incinerated it by now.
I do not know what it is.
I know. I just my guess is
don't know.
out.
That was gone. That is not what I thought it was. Damn it.
Where? Okay, read that last one more time.
Where has this apple eater been the whole time? What has he been waiting for? He's had almost the entire ship to himself for like an hour. He could have incinerated it by now.
Himself for an hour. Man, usually the last clues seem obvious, but I don't. This has
thrown it.
This has completely thrown me for a loop. He's had the entire ship to himself for an hour. Could have incinerated it.
Do we have the clock as like a whole, or does it reset every time it passes?
I think it resets every time it passes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Then you still have time.
I'm not going to get this. The whole ship to himself. Ah, man. I was the baby thing. I thought it was Labyrinth. I thought it was Labyrinth with the baby thing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And then
Is that your guess?
I mean, no, because there's no ship in Labyrinth.
But okay.
I think I know what it is.
Well, you may get a chance. You may get a chance to steal because I don't know what it is. I'm going to go with I don't know. So I'll just say Labyrinth.
Okay, that is incorrect. Ian?
So my initial guess was Ghostbusters, which I know it is not because of the hating baby thing, but it was not. Is it Dune 1984?
It is The Hunt for the Red October. Guys, it's my point. Yes!
Yay, Deneé gets the points.
All right, Aaron.
I love in the chat that somebody's like, aren't you guys scared that the bosses are going to listen to this and realize how little you know about
just as
this channel?
We write so much.
I don't believe
it's
that.
So funny.
They would nail these.
Would. Yeah.
But they
You
also
think
probably
they
probably wrote on them. At some point, we will probably guess on one that we've wrote on, and that'll be a
hope
different
so.
thing.
Completely baffled.
Yeah.
Be like, I don't remember that at all.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Aaron. I think this one.
All right.
You
let's
might
do
get
it.
this one.
Oh.
First one.
Love the confidence.
2 mats on screen, and they don't even make out. What a ripoff.
2 mats?
MATTS. It's the name.
2 mats on screen, and they don't even make out.
What a
that
ripoff.
can mean so many things. It could be like Damon and McConaughey. It could be 2 mats on screen, and they don't even make. I'm gonna need the next one.
Hey, man. Just because dictionaries are recognizing figurative definition of literal doesn't mean I am.
I love whoever wrote this.
It doesn't really help a lot.
It doesn't help with the movie, but thank you for your passion.
But then maybe JCD chose it for a specific reason.
Maybe.
Maybe. You've got some. He's pretty good.
Read it one more time, and then I'll probably move on.
Hey, man, just because dictionaries aren't recognizing figurative definition of literal doesn't mean I am.
Okay. Yeah. Number 3, please.
Oh, man. Is that corn? I'm going to be so pumped if that's a field of, oh, shit. Is the music swelling to match my own excitement for corn?
Okay. All right. Yeah. But who's the other Matt? I have a guess.
Oh, do it.
Okay.
But I'm going to sacrifice one more point just to make sure.
But that means you can only draw with me.
That is true if we don't go another round.
But, no, that's true. That's true.
There's no more rounds. I only picked 3.
Okay. All right. Then
you got to be happy to be
then
even.
Either I go for the win
or draw,
or I go for
lose.
the tie, or I lose.
I mean, that's pretty much what you're going for all the time.
Listen, I'm pretty sure I will either win, tie, or lose based on this decision.
Amazing.
All right. Give me the first 2 again so that I can compare them to my guess.
With 1 minute and 38 seconds at the clock.
Okay.
Oh.
2 mats on screen, and they don't even make out. What a ripoff.
Okay.
Hey, man, just because dictionaries are recognizing figurative definition of literal doesn't mean I am.
That doesn't help. Yeah.
And, oh, man, is that corn? I'm going to be so pumped if that's a field of, oh, shit! Is the music swelling to match my own excitement for corn?
I'm going to take the 4th clue. I'll go for the tie.
In the future, while orbiting Saturn, spaceship security is of zero concern.
It's Interstellar. I
do
knew
we
it
have
on
to
the
do
3rd
one more
one.
then?
I should have gone for the win.
Yes.
It is Interstellar. Like a face-off.
I can. You'll have to give me a second, but I can.
Yeah, I think you do like I think we do like we're making this up as we go along. You do like a face-off where both of you can guess.
So how are we playing? How are we playing the face-off? We're just
whoever guesses first out of the clues, I guess.
Or we each do one. Like we each start one. Is that? Or,
should we do a buzzer?
Like a buzz in? How would we do a buzz in?
Well, I'm gonna unplug him.
And we're in the same room.
We've never done this before. This is, you guys are listening to the segment as it happens. We're probably gonna have some feedback about ideas for how to do a.
I would think like one video. I would think one video, and
so then who gets to start?
We both
gets to go first.
We at the same time simultaneously.
So whoever just says it first.
We listen to the clue,
and if you're wrong, but if you say something and you're wrong, then the other person gets all the time. Yeah. Okay. All right. I like that.
Okay, so I'm gonna give 30 seconds in between the time I finish it until I go on to the next one.
So wait a second. So there's no risk to saying on each one? Because I would think if somebody guessed one that was wrong, the next person is in control until they're not. Is that wrong?
I would think so.
Gotcha,
Okay, all right.
gotcha.
Okay, just making sure. Because if not, I'm just going to guess something every single time.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we get one at a time then.
Yeah. Okay, first one.
I don't understand what's happening, but here we go.
Ian and I are going to try to guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Movie hits the Jesus metaphor a little square on the head.
I'm not taking a guess on this clue. Oh, look at that thought. Look at him deep in thought.
This is how this game is going to be every time we play it. It's just these the minds just reaching out.
I have something, but I want the next clue.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's probably a good strategy because you can just shout it out. I don't have anything yet, so yeah.
No, I want the
So
next clue.
what's the downside to Ian guessing right now?
It would just be my clue from here on out. I could take it down to one and win on the last clue.
Oh, I see what you guys are making up as you go.
Well, yeah, that's what we're doing.
It's great. It's great. I love it. Murderous traitor conveniently kills good guys in order of their importance to the remainder of the story. I'll read that one again. Murderous traitor conveniently kills good guys in the order of their importance to the remainder of the story.
I'm officially not taking a guess on this one.
Yeah, same here. That didn't help me.
Okay. Computer hacker and illegal software salesman asks, "Why me?" as FBI people chase him around his workplace.
Read that one again.
I want to guess.
Read that one again, please.
Okay.
Unless you want to guess before she reads it again, that's fine.
The Matrix.
It is the Matrix.
Nicely done! Well done.
Nice.
Oh, I'm sweating.
That was tense.
I'm dripping.
Just pouring sweat.
I apologize for not being a gracious winner. That was
that was great. No, I love when people celebrate their wins. I'm the person that's like, I don't get this whole poker thing where when you win a hand, you're not supposed to celebrate.
Yeah.
Like,
I nearly backflipped.
Yeah, so no, that's great.
The other clues would have been computer hacker. Oh, wait, computer hacker, illegal software salesman asked why me. And then, okay, this one is the last one. Even agents with artificial intelligence have to say some bull just before they kill someone so that the hero can be saved
I would have
at
got
the
it with
last
that one.
second.
So I had it on the first guess.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. Because, Jesus metaphor was either like Luke Skywalker or Neo. But the second clue threw me off. Second clue, I was like, nope, neither of those films. Third clue brought me back in.
Well, there you go. Guess the sins on Sin to Win. Deneé, what did you think? How was that for you doing the...
Oh, I love it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
I love it. And again, thanks to JCD for helping us put that segment together. And we will continue to experiment with segments here towards the end of the show. And you guys are welcome to give us feedback.
And suggestions.
As always, our contact information is always shared at the end of the show.
Yeah, and suggestions. If you have suggestions for other fun games or segments you'd like to hear, that's what this slot will be for.
And if you want to track who's winning, my overall points and the fact that I'm just winning as well.
Yeah, that's going to be something. Do we carry that on?
Yes,
that's totally up to Ian. I have a feeling you're going to have to do that if you want that to happen.
Yeah, Ian, for real.
We will do it right up until I don't want to do it anymore.
Oh, well, there you go. That's going to wrap it up for episode 1 of season 2 of Behind the Sins this week. Don't forget to make sure you're subscribed and go ahead and leave a comment or rating as well. If you've got anything you want to send us, mail it to P.O. Box 881, Republic, Missouri 65738. You can hang out with us on Twitter. We're at Aaron Dicer. He is at Wits End. She is at Deneé Says.
DENEESAYS.
Oh, so we're not going to let me spell my name out anymore because Deneé is back.
Do you think people need your name spelled?
No, I don't. But that was you kept pausing.
Only because it was filling in for Deneé, like just the rhythm of it.
I was just
back,
filling.
back
I was
now.
just
You don't have
filling
to
for
do it
Deneé.
anymore.
All right, see you later, guys. I'll take my win and leave.
And he is at Sam Loomis 13. So for Jonathan Watkins, Ian Whittington, Deneé Hughes, the letter E from Judgment, and myself, we will see you next week.
Happy National Blueberry Popover Day.
Thanks for listening. Send any feedback to bts@cinemasins.com and be sure to subscribe, rate, and comment. Find more ways to connect by visiting cinemasins.com/bts.
It feels good. Yeah.
All right. We are recording.
Hello. Greetings and salutations. I'm going to talk like this for the entirety of season 2. This just in, Aaron plays with knobs.
Technically, they're sliders, but,
This just in, Aaron slides his knobs.
No, there are no knobs here. Well, there are knobs up here.
What are they, nipples?
Up top, they're knobs. Down below, it's more of a slider.
So you keep the knobs up top and the sliders down below.
I had nothing to do with the design. The knobs are up
top.
top.
No, Aaron, that was God.
Hey, it's Deneé Hughes.
Oh, hello. No, I can't see her.
But she can hear you if she can hear us.
Oh, I can't hear her.
Well, she hasn't talked yet.
Well, that'll be why.
She's just making strange mouth movements and now shoulder movements.
Hey, all words are mouth movements, dickhead.
Well, yes, but I wasn't insinuating that. I never said she was talking.
Yep.
She's not.
Talking is a mouth movement.
Well, I know that I didn't deny that. There was nothing about my statement that denied that. She just lipped the words, wow. She's probably trying to get recording before she actually says anything.
Starts with gold.
She's being conscientious. She's being a conscientious podcaster. She's like, I cannot spew forth the gold that is about to come from my gut. With
spew forth the gold that comes from her gut.
Yeah, it's so good. It comes all the way from the gut,
from the innards, from the
and
the lower
guttular region
until she's recording.
That's where the good stuff is.
Yeah, deep in the gut. Deep in the gut of Texas. Wait, that's not right.
Wait, what?
My tiny, tiny laptop
didn't turn on for an hour this morning.
And it stopped.
Oh, the headphone jack.
The headphone jack stopped working.
Isn't working now. The headphone jack just is dead. Doesn't work. And then this morning, it took an hour to turn on. So all my BTS prep was on my phone.
Oh.
I mean, I did see you using it in the bathtub, so I don't know if that was the problem.
What's messed up?
My laptop is a piece of shit.
Isn't Aaron's one too?
Aaron's is.
I thought his
computer, like his actual computer is a little jacked, yeah.
Oh, like you still have like an actual computer. I didn't know those still existed. Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
he has a tower.
Yeah,
wow.
So they exist and they are very good, Jonathan.
Yes, desktops are awesome.
They are fantastic.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to. Good God.
Laptops are wildly
I'm sorry,
inefficient.
I only have a laptop, guys. I'll leave now. Peace. I'm not getting a desktop anytime soon.
Yeah, I got one to play games. I wanted to play
I
games
do
really
not
bad.
Need one. Yeah, I don't play games. I could care less.
I like playing games.
Couldn't care less.
I'm leaving, seriously. I hate all of you. Except for Deneé. At least Deneé's back because somebody's being nice to me.
Hi, Jonathan.
What did I do? What was
you gave me shit about saying I didn't care for a desktop.
I did? Did I?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Desktops are really good.
It's not,
it's
not giving you crap.
You're like a Snyder bro with desktops. Did you like Batman, Ian?
I like the Sins. Oh, sorry, the film.
Yeah, the new one. Sorry, that's confusing because there's 27 movies named Batman.
It's
like saying, "Hey, did you like Halloween?" I mean, I'm curious. Like, if we had Twitter, like in 1987, would like people like bitching about the Last Emperor get rolled over the coals and you don't understand the Last Emperor. He's an emperor. He's the last.
But he kills a mouse. Sorry,
oh man, I haven't seen that movie. Deneé, you spoiled it.
No. I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking something different. There was a movie on TV once, and I started watching it, and I really couldn't stop watching it, and I don't know what it was. To this day, I have no idea. I'm sure if I Googled large red door, kid chucks mouse against red door, mouse dies, statues and stuff standing out in the open.
That's a long Google search.
Yeah.
Maybe it would come up.
It sounds like the Green Knight.
So let's do the HelloFresh real quick since we got.
Fresh.
No, it's hello. It's hello, Deneé. You have to get. Listen, you have to get the.
Fresh.
We're here to talk about. We're here to talk.
Good Morgan.
All right. Guys, I thought it was a good idea for all four of us to do the ad read.
I told you it wasn't. I told you it was a bad idea.
We are here to talk about HelloFresh once again.
Oh my Listen, we need to have a plan. Aaron, you have to say we're starting. I didn't know you were starting.
You started it. You said hi fresh.
I said, oh God. You know what? Let's just not do BTS anymore, ever.
Oh, hello, Fresh. Yeah, we're still talking about HelloFresh.
Are we okay to talk?
I don't know. Are we? I mean, the first Alien movie does end with her like in the spaceship in her underwear, right? Like
it does, but
hanging out with her pussy. Like, I mean, that's
wow.
That is how the movie ends.
Wow.
Yeah. If there's one thing I know about Aaron, it's that he means cat, because there's no way he's talking about actual pussy. Shakalaka.
Boom, shakalaka, laka, boom.
Boom.
Are you waiting to watch Picard till next week, or did you already watch it?
Ooh,
no, we watched it
yesterday.
I was too busy yesterday.
Watch it.
now that we're not doing Beyond the Sins, like outtakes could. I mean, we could talk about some things we watched during the outtakes and not have to worry about it.
If you want to exclude Deneé from the outtakes, that's
no,
an
she watched the
outstanding
card.
way
That's
to do
why
it.
I thought of it.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah,
all right, we won't show anything away.
I haven't watched it.
I will be watching it hopefully tonight.
Ian,
so good.
Ian.
That's
I don't
good.
care. It's good. It's good.
I just wanted to make that same noise multiple
I know.
times.
It's so fun. It's so fun when your friend's name is just a noise.
I'm hoping tonight I can watch that, the after party finale.
Oh, that's right. The after party finale is coming out.
I've heard
enough. I'm watching that show From on Epix. I haven't watched the last episode of it. I'm so hopefully catching up on a bunch of TV tonight.
Is that The Lost People? There's like from the producers of
one
Lost.
lost person.
From.
Oh, you mean behind it? Maybe. I don't know who's behind it. What's his name? What the hell's going on with my voice?
It's not Lindelof, but I know
Carlton Hughes is the other guy.
Oh, okay. Walt's dad. I can't remember that actor's name.
Yeah, I know he's in it.
He's like one of the main people on it. It's very good. I don't know. I don't think it's too horror-y for Aaron, but it is about like this town where people get stuck there and there's like these creatures of some sort.
Did you say
come out at night?
Horror-y, not horror-y.
Like
okay.
Horror-y.
Yeah. It's the perfect amount of horror for you.
I have to watch a horror comedy today for the show tomorrow.
What is that? Oh
Hulu.
yeah, is that that's not a comedy, is it?
It says horror comedy. The genre says horror comedy.
Interesting. I saw that trailer. If that's a comedy, that's weird. We were supposed to have two cheer competitions and one dance competition this weekend, so my weekend was packed. But now, because of her finger, she can't do the cheer competitions.
Yeah, how's she doing?
She's okay. No, she's doing fine. Thankfully, it was her left because she's in it's not a cast, but the way they do the splint, I shared that picture. It
looked like a cast.
Yeah. Except you can't sign it, which really upset her and her friends. But because it's like a bandage, you know.
Yeah, it's not like a legit.
Yeah,
like a bandage.
Exactly.
Sorry, I can't stop.
She doesn't complain about anything. In fact, we always talk. It's crazy. She had a fracture in her ankle, a really bad one too. But she didn't even tell us it was hurting for like a couple weeks. So she was like going to gymnastics and just never said a word. Yeah, she's tough. So when she said, I think I picked her up from school on Tuesday. And she's like, I think it was Tuesday. No, it was Wednesday, I guess. I don't remember. But I think it was Wednesday. And I picked her up from school and she's like, can we go see a doctor? So I was like, oh yeah, you're clearly not feeling well. So kids don't ask to go to doctors.
No.
As a parent, do you have that struggle thing where you're like, oh, it's so terrible my child is in pain, but also how nice is it we don't have to go to a million things this weekend? Like,
oh, wow.
Secret lover, that's what we are. I bet Ian doesn't know that song.
Together. I love that I just disproved you as you said it. Yes.
Can I also tell you something really frustrating that just happened to me that only you will understand how frustrating it is, Aaron, but I just want to say it out loud before the show starts so I can get out of my brain. So I was talking to Chrissy Claybaker and I just sent her a text message and I said, I think you left a water bottle here. And she's like, yeah, I did. And I said, do you want me to run it to you because it's important to you? And she said, that's okay. And the auto reply on text was, are you sure? Why are we doing auto replies of are you sure? If someone says, no, that's okay, that's their fucking answer. Why is an auto reply, are you sure?
Auto reply, why are you
perpetuating this bullshit way of communicating?
Yeah, but I do that to you all the time. I'm always like, are you sure? Because
she hates it. I used to do that to her all the time. It's one of her pet peeves. I said it, I meant it, I thought about it, I wouldn't have said.
Yeah, but you might not have done. Because like in England it's like, would you like this last slice of pizza? And I'll be like, no. And then they'll be like, are you sure? And I'll be like, no, I'm sure. And then on that third time when they say, are you sure? And then I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I will have it. I need that third round to justify having the last slice of pizza.
It's too bad. What you should do is you should stop, think about it, and then reply. So the answer is just don't speak until you know your answer.
No, I know what my answer is, but I need to get there in a
So your answer is yes, but you can't say that the first time.
But I can't say that the first time.
See, that's a you problem.
Is he really on something? Like, what's he on?
Oh, he had to have been, right?
He's teaching them how to ride a speeder. Yeah.
Like a panda.
No, but I'm saying, but like, what is he actually? Oh, you're thinking this.
Oh, he could be on meth or something. That's what I do every week that you can't hear.
Keep doing it.
beat.
No, I like it. It's very good. Ian had no idea that everybody could hear him. But...
Oh, no. Wait, what?
Yeah, you turned your mic on.
Oh, no. You're such a troll. Such a troll.
Oh, welcome to...
I'm leaving.
Remember that one time when I unmuted you during the countdown and you didn't know?
So funny. Oh my God. I was over here dying.
That was risky.
It was risky. Believe me, I felt the risk. I felt the risk. I really
hovering
did.
over the mute button.
I was. I literally was hovering over the mute button. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anything can happen in the next 60 minutes.
I'm 100% sure I'm not the first person to make this observation. But how are the words resend and rescind so close together?
Oh,
they mean opposite things,
and yet they're so close.
That is
words
asking
like that.
for trouble.
Yeah, it's like no, it's not like Infamous and Famous.
Hey, Jonathan, are you surprised that they're going on and on about definition of words within the first few minutes?
Surprise.
I'm hugely surprised. So surprised I wasn't listening.
Deneé, we need a 60-second update about Wild RP. Go.
Okay, Rob.
Thanks, Ian.
I was absolutely arrested for no reason.
No.
No.
My hammer.
You know how to derail me instantly.
Yes.
Are you quoting Picard? If you are, I'm going to be so mad. I haven't seen that.
Yes. That hammer line is right from Picard. Right before he brains a puppy with a hammer.
Which he has It was an accident.
Wow.
Bummer, bitches. That's a super fucking bummer. 'Cause now I gotta write that shit down.